Welcome to episode 2 all about Japan. If you've not seen the first one, the link is up here. But today we are talking about the ancient Nakasendo way and the city on everyone's bucket list, Tokyo. After a 3-hour drive, we have finally arrived here in Ingamells. Ingamells is one of many postal towns that sits on the Nakasendo way. Nakasendo literally means middle mountain way, and it cuts straight through the Kizo Valley that links Kyoto with Tokyo. And they were the two main cities in ancient Japan, and people have been walking this route for hundreds and hundreds of years. We stopped in a nearby city called Lida last night, and we're back up and on the Nakasendo way again. This is our last day here before heading back to Kyoto. We only had a couple of days spare in the itinerary, so we're trying to make the most of it. This morning we are in Narai. It's a little bit quieter today because it's drizzling a little bit, but we've been here a little while now. We've had a coffee, some green tea, having a look around. There's a little shrine we've just been in. You can pay 100 yen and you get your fortune on a piece of paper, and I believe that if it's a bad fortune you tie it on the tree and then that helps to get rid of it and to take it away for you. So we've just done that. It was pretty bad, so we tied it on the tree, and yeah, we're going to head off now to Sumago. Apparently the locals who lived here started to preserve this a while back, and that kind of kick-started all these postal towns being preserved, and this is known as being one of the nicest and most accurate ones that is around here. Apparently the function of these back when they were used was to help government officials with labour and horses as they were travelling between the two main cities. So we are on to our final stop of the journey across Japan, which is Tokyo, and we're taking the Shinkansen or bullet train as a lot of us know it, and this thing is seriously fast. It does the journey in just over 2 hours. If you're going to drive it, it'd be just under 6, so this is a much better way of making the journey across. And we're finally in Tokyo, and what better place to start than Shibuya Crossing, which is the most busy intersection in the entire world. Let's go have a look. While we're here, we're going to try and get through some of the big ones, like the Shibuya Crossing, Meiji Jingu Shrine. We're going to see something different, like the Team Labs Borderless exhibition. We're going to go up the Sky Tree and try and get the cityscape in as well. And we're just going to see how much we can get done in 5 days in this incredible city. It's a city that brings together culture and history and has the future in it all at once. And I'm really excited to see what it has to offer. Tokyo is so huge, you really do need a plan to make the most of it. As with anywhere in Japan, use the public transport. It's the easiest way to get around. We got on the rail through to Team Labs Borderless exhibition. This is a digital art exhibition using projectors and sound to create immersive environments that react to you, and I've never seen anything like it anywhere else. new day in Tokyo and we are on the temple trail. Today we're going to try and get through the Meiji Jingu Shrine and Sensoji. The Meiji Jingu Shrine is in Shibuya, in the middle of Yoyogi Park. Now the easiest way to get here is on the JR Yamanote line. Once you get here, the walk through the park is actually one of the best bits for me. Walking past all the torii gates, you almost forget that you're in the middle of a big city. The next temple on our list was Sensoji. The main route there is lined with shops selling souvenirs and food, and it's quite an interesting experience just walking there. In the afternoon it is crazy busy though, so we stuck around for a little bit before heading off to the Sky Tree to get the Tokyo skyline, intending to come back later when it had quietened down. Tokyo is a massive city, but it's kind of hard to comprehend just how big until you manage to get a view of the whole thing. So we come up to the top of Sky Tree and it is well worth going up here for a look. You can see Tokyo as far as the horizon and it just never stops. I get up here, see for yourself if you go to Tokyo, it's amazing. In a city that has thousands of temples, Sensoji is the oldest of the lot, being built since 628 AD, which makes it almost 1,500 years old. The legend has it that two brothers were fishing in a stream and kept catching a golden statue of the Buddhist deity Kannon. They kept throwing it back in and it kept going back up, so they took it to a local chieftain who understood what it was because he was a devout Buddhist, and the legend has it that he brought it here and set this temple up to house the statue, and it's been here ever since. This is definitely one of the top temples that you should see in Tokyo if you're going to come out and see some of this kind of thing. We came here earlier on in the day and it was really busy, so we went up Sky Tree to pass some time, and we've come back and it's much nicer at night. It's quiet, the shops aren't open, but you get to see the temple with far less people around you, and that's what I'd recommend doing. We've done everything we can fit in this time, so there's one thing left to do, and that is to have a food day. Tokyo is one of the best cities in the world for food. If you're underneath a rail track like we are now, there's food trucks, there's bars, every little side alley has a restaurant down it, so we're going to see what we can find. Tsukiji Fish Market is one of the top foodie destinations in all of Tokyo. The wholesale market that used to sell the big tunas and everything has left, but there are hundreds of stalls here selling the freshest seafood. It still comes in wholesale auction here every morning at about 5 AM, and these guys are serving up every day. And I've just had some tuna, some sea urchin, and it was the best I've ever had. So I'd get down here and check out if you're in Tokyo. So there are quite a number of things on people's bucket list as far as food is concerned in Tokyo, and one of them for a lot of people is Wagyu beef. Now it's really expensive at night, and a lot of places do cheaper alternatives, cheaper menus for lunch. So we've come to Kobe beef Ikutu to try their lunch menu. It's the same Wagyu beef, but it's about half, a third of the price, so we're going to go and have a try of that. In between places on your list, I'd recommend checking out all the side alleys. We stumbled across this gyoza bar and tried loads of different types on the menu, and it was fantastic. Shiitake mushroom definitely my favourite. So this place is right next to our hotel. You can only pay in cash, but You order on an iPad, the food then comes to your table, and then you print your own receipt and you go and pay on your way out. It's like completely, there's just no people involved, it's all automated, but it's still cash. It's such a bizarre contrast. One of the things you need to check out is this little alley of izakayas just down from Shinjuku Station. It's one of the must-do stops of Tokyo. It's called Memory Lane, or Omoyoi's Yokocho, if I'm pronouncing that right, and you get little yakitori steaks of meats and vegetables and beers. I would really recommend checking this out. That brings our time in Japan to an end. This has been without a doubt one of the most fascinating countries to travel. If you get a chance, I really would recommend it. There's so much more to do than we've covered off in this video, and I will definitely be heading out there again soon.